It's finally here. It finally happened. We have some big, big, big news. Huge changes to Shadow Priests in Shadowlands. And this is very late. I was really sure they're not going to do any more changes. But there you go. Big changes. I was streaming earlier. Everyone was saying, do you think Voidform is going away? And I was here saying, I think they're gonna make some changes, but I don't think Voidform's going away. It's probably gonna stay the way it is. They'll fiddle with some numbers a little bit, but I was wrong. Look at this. Voidform is now a cooldown, and this is gonna be my kind of like initial reaction. Where should I go? I'm gonna go over here. There you go. This is gonna be my initial reaction. We're gonna go over the changes, and I'm gonna tell you what I think about it. All right. First of all, Voidform is going to be a cooldown. There's a lot of changes. There is a clear change in playstyle for Shadow Priest, and I know a lot of people aren't happy with it. I think most people are happy with it in general. We're yet to see how it plays, but a lot of people did like Voidform. You know, the gradual sanity drain where you have to balance it with the increased haste. That one's gone. Some people are very upset about that. I understand, but for me personally, times change, and it's time to let that go. But I wasn't a big fan of it personally, so I'm not. I like the changes. All right, I'm a little excited. I'm gonna try to stay critical and not fanboy too hard, but let's go into it because I'm excited. All right, so greetings. Hi. We've heard your feedback on Shadow Priest and spent some time performing more extensive changes to the spec, including changes to baseline skills and talents. Most importantly, we're taking a deeper look at Voidform. And here's some wall of text. Voidform. Along with Insanity, Voidform was introduced in Legion as a central component of Shadow Priest redesign that explored the fantasy of tapping into dark, mind-twisting void magic for temporary power. True. From a gameplay standpoint, this was expressed as building up Insanity, entering Voidform, and then battling against the decaying Insanity to prolong your time in this powerful state. And you got a bunch of haste and crit and other stuff to, fight it. The design has not been a clear winner for several players, as we often receive feedback that people do not enjoy fighting the resource decay in order to inflict reasonable damage. I think my biggest take from this one was fighting the decay. The decay was not a big problem. For me personally, since I'm mainly a PvPer, it was mostly a problem of getting to that point. In PvP and sometimes in Mythic Plus as well, you just didn't get to that point. Especially in PvP. If you guys remember Legion, you just couldn't get to the point where you have to battle the sanity because there were no targets. In the beginning of Legion, you press Voidform and everyone would CC you or run away, and you just didn't get to this part of Voidform. So for me, from the start, it was kind of weird. Where was I? Oh no. On the other hand, we also hear from people who enjoy Voidform but feel it is not transformative enough. Over time, the design has proven problematic and Voidform uptime has dominated the spec. Big true, which again is what led to a lot of problems with Mythic Plus and PvP, since they couldn't balance the spec was balanced around Voidform length and Voidform uptime. Going far beyond the original intention. Now any talents, items, legendaries, etc. that do not feed into Voidform are considered undesirable. And this is what I was talking with Ellipsis earlier, in the previous video, saying this is bad. We want time in Voidform to feel more impactful. True, I agree. And as a result, we are limiting the time you can undergo transformation by applying a cooldown. I'm gonna try to be like on the fence here, okay? It's hard because I'm a big fan of this, but this, I don't know if this is the most elegant of fixes, but it is a fix, I guess, because it like completely changes the spec. By default, the ability will no longer have the decaying resource mechanic, but the gameplay will be more appropriately balanced in the redesigned talent. Legacy of the Void. This one doesn't really hold up. Legacy of the Void, we'll get to it. It's a joke. It's so bad. Yeah, I don't think you'd ever play Legacy of the Void. All right, let's be a little positive, okay? Devouring Plague. Big. Feedback suggested the duration of Devouring Plague was too long. Yup. While we reduced the duration from its historic 21-second duration to 12 seconds, we agree that this still feels too long, and reducing it further to 6 seconds. Well, especially with how Voidform works now. How Sanity works now. I'll get to that. But this is good. We're also fixing bugs that prevent Devouring Plague from scaling with haste or critical strike, and we've also increased its damage. So Devouring Plague does more damage in a shorter duration and can scale with crit and haste. So huge, punch from Devouring Plague. Devouring Plague is going to be big, and the problem with this 12 and 6 seconds was Right now, since you don't have the insanity, basically it's just a builder spender. You just build sanity, you spend it on Devouring Plague. You build it, you spend it. It's pretty basic. It's kind of boring if you think about it, but I think this is good. I think this is easy to balance, and there's a lot of like, you know what? I need to move a little faster. There's a lot of cool stuff along the way. It's the basic idea is a builder spender. You want to build as much as possible so you can spend it on Devouring Plague. General gameplay. We were introducing a new passive called Dark Thoughts. This is pretty cool. I like this one a lot, but it's bad for PvP. That adds a baseline proc in the rotation, which we feel spices up the general rotation. We want damage over time effects to matter to Shadow Priest, so we've made it so that Dark Thoughts and other mechanics interact with that core theme. So as I was saying earlier, it looks like Shadow Priest is going to be heavily a dot class. Like, I'll talk about more in a sec. Talents. We've gone through a number of talents and made adjustments in effort to make choices a bit more competitive in a variety of situations. Unfurling Darkness, I don't know what that is, and Psychic Link supports Shadow Priest's most darting strengths, while Damnation, this one's insane, and Surrender to Madness provides tools for Shadow Priest to quickly burst targets down while the encounter demands it. Surrender to Madness is, sure. Lastly, we want to spotlight the new talent, Searing Nightmare. Searing Nightmare can assist Shadow Priest in situations like Mythic Plus, where higher sustained AoE could be useful. Thanks everyone for our feedback and your unending passion. Alright, we're gonna get a little technical here with a bunch of new changes that are actually really, really fun, but I wanna talk a little bit about this. So basically, since they're taking Voidform away, Voidform becomes just a cooldown. Like I was saying with Ellipsis, that means they can put power back into direct damage, like into stuff like Mind Blast, direct dots, hopefully not Mind Flay, because we have way too many stuff to press now. We don't have time for Mind Flay. Basically, they couldn't buff Mind Blast and stuff like that, because Voidform would take us to astronomical levels of haste and crit as well with Chorus of Insanity, to where if they buffed Mind Blast, then imagine how strong that would be, and not just Mind Blast, but like dots in general. They would scale way too high, out of control with so much haste, so much stats we get. So now it should put some power back into those spells, I think. So basically, when you don't have Voidform, you're still going to do damage, which is good. Alright, so talents. Those are some big talents. And I also have my my WoW open here, so we can like figure it out. This is the beta. It's not yet implemented in the beta. I can't wait. The changes just came out, so that I'm going to make a proper video once they implement it on the beta. I'm so excited. So Void Eruption's cast time reduced by 40%, which means this was essentially Legacy of the Void becomes baseline, the first part. Okay, you still need 90. Oh, actually, there is no Voidform. What am I saying? Wait, Void Eruption's cast time is reduced. Oh, so Voidform is you still Void Erupt and it's still 40%. Okay, sick. All right, so it's just okay, cool. Mind Blast rank to reduce cooldown of Mind Blast from by 7.5 was 7 seconds. There was a mess, like a problem in PvE with timing for Mind Blast with the rotation. It's fine now. This is a good change. Shadow Word Death no longer generates insanity. I have had a lot of people ask me, isn't this bad? I think this is great. This is so good. I'm so happy that Shadow Word Death does not generate insanity. Okay, this is why. In PvP, because that's my main thing. But also PvE, but in PvE, okay, in PvE it's a little weird. I think you still want a Shadow Word Death on cooldown to maximize your damage. But in PvP, sustained damage is not as important. So I love the idea of being able to save Shadow Word Death for when I want to do big damage, either when, you know, someone's 20%, or if I want to, there's a bunch of Shadow Priests around me. They're everywhere. I've seen so many that we're taking over. I want to be able to save, to sit on Shadow Word Death and not feel like I'm wasting damage or wasting resource. And before, I was playing some skirmishes earlier, and I felt like I have to open with, you know, this thing into a Shadow Word Death because I want to get sanity as fast as possible. But now, if it doesn't give sanity, I can just sit on Shadow Word Death and just use it either to break a CC or just like burst someone when I really need it. So I think this is a really, really good. I'm so happy. I hated Shadow Word Death giving sanity. I think it was really bad for PvP. For PvE, I don't know. It feels kind of awkward for PvE because you still kind of want to press it on cooldown. I think. I'm not sure. I think so though. Shadowy Apparitions redesigned. Oh, this is so good. When you use Mind Blast, Devouring Plague, or Void Bolt, so we still have Void Bolt, you also create a shadowy version of yourself, blah, blah, blah. So you spawn a shadowy apparition when you use Mind Blast, Devouring Plague, or Void Bolt, and then critical strikes will also will cause 2 shadowy apparitions to be created. So, excuse me. Now, what I wanted to mention is, I pray and I hope they're gonna change Shadow Priest Mastery. Shadow Priest Mastery is extremely boring. It's basically increased damage on a bunch of stuff. That's boring. So since they're changing shadowy apparitions to where you don't like spam them with a million crit and like you shoot ghosts 24/7, maybe a mastery could be something related to this. I don't know. Something related to it would be fun. It does look like crit and haste are still gonna be the main stats for Shadow Priests for PvE, which they have been for, you know, historically Shadow was always good with crit and haste. So that's good to see. And this looks good, you know, basically when you go in Void Form, you just summon a bunch of ghosts like on the fly, you know, you press Mind Blast, Void Form, Void Bolt, Mind Blast, and that's like 6 right there. I think it's gonna, this looks really fun. I hope they hit hard since you don't spawn as many. You just go, you know, you spawn 1 or 2 on Mind Blast and Devouring Plague and Void Bolt. I hope they hit way harder than they do now, because right now they're obviously a joke. Right now they're, where are they? They are hitting for like 200k, 200, not 200k. So not a big deal if you just summon a 200 flying thingy, but I think it has the potential, and I hope they make them move a little faster, because if it's a burst type of spell and you Mind Blast something and then you have 2 slow ghosts flying around, the target might die. But this is all for PvE. For PvP, this looks really fun, really good. Void Form, here we go. Now has a minute and a half cooldown and increases damage dealt by 20%. So I'm not sure if it is gonna replace Shadow Form like it does now, or if it's I'm not sure if it's a 20% damage buff or a 10% at the end of the day. And lasts for 15 seconds. Void Form no longer reduces the cooldown of Mind Blast. This is I think this is fine, but now refreshes the cooldown of Mind Blast, and you gain 2 additional charges while in Void Form. So ideally, you're gonna Mind Blast, Void Form, and 2 more Mind Blasts for like the big damage, I guess, or maybe Void Bolt as well. I'm not sure. And you no longer gain haste every 0.5 seconds in Void Form. I'm very happy with this. I like this a lot. I think this is a lot better, easier to balance. Again, I know a lot of people hate it. A lot of people were big fans of Void Form. They like the idea of, you know, fighting the decay of sanity, and by using the more and more haste. It's like this addictive fast play style. I think it was hard to balance. I wish there was a way where, we'll get to Legacy of the Void. Maybe there's a way they can still kind of give that feeling back, but it's hard. Like at this point, there's no way they're gonna make 2 specs. Basically, I think it's kind of. I think this is what we're gonna get. Which again, for PvP and myself, I'm very happy with this, but this is subjective. I know some people don't like it. Devouring Plague, duration reduced to 6 seconds and damage increased by 50%, and also it crits and it scales with haste. Yeah, there was a problem where with 12 seconds, they sometimes overlap on the beta. You just Devouring Plague and then you want to Devouring Plague again, but it's already there, so you overlap, so you lose the damage. So this is a good change. I think it's a really good change. And it's way more bursty. It's insane. This is going to be so good for PvP. Oh my god. Rogue Priest, this is like a little parenthesis. You know, I'm going on a tangent here. Rogue Priest is going to be insane. It's going to be bananas. I bet Peekaboo and WizK right now and Upsturge are like, they must be so happy. This I don't know. RPS is gonna be insane. It's early to tell. I'm sorry. Maybe it's gonna be trash. Who knows? Maybe everything will do 0 damage. Devouring Plague will now properly critical strike, and Devouring Plague is now a level 20 spell. So basically, builder spender. You just build sanity, throw Devouring Plague. It also heals you. You press it consistently, and it heals you more. And when you're in Void Form, you just press more Devouring Plagues, I guess. New spell. Okay, now we're getting to some new stuff. Dark Thoughts. Passive. Level 16. So this is like passive. That's sick. For each... this is the new Shadowy Insight. For each of your damage over time effects on the target, your Mind Flay and Mind Seer have a 2% chance to instantly add a charge of Mind Blast, causing it to be instantly cast, allowing it to be cast while channeling Mind Flay or Mind Seer within 6 seconds. And here's the big one. Dark Thoughts can stack up to 6 times for situations where Shadow Priests will proc many in a short time, but it only stays for 6 seconds. So this, first I read this and I was like, I lost it. I lost. I like, you know, I thought we can stack 5 Mind Blasts and just boom, 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 like Ice Lance them. But they have a 6 second duration. 6 second till they go away. So this is for like big pools where you mind sear and you like proc a bunch of them and you just mind blast while you're mind searing. This is gonna like a lot. There's a lot of changes that make a lot of this seems like it's directed towards AOE, like Mythic Plus scenes. This one's one of them. This one's really fun. It's not great for PvP because I mean, you're not really sitting there. You're gonna sit there and mind flay for a 4% chance per tick to get an instant cast, and then you get an instant cast, and whoa, now what? You know, it's not that big. This is really good for Mythic Plus. This is gonna make it fun, I think. Especially, you know, you're mind searing and you're stacking up these mind blasts, and you like spam the mind blast while you're mind searing. Each mind blast gives you some ghost. It's gonna look good. I think it's gonna be fun. And then we go to talents. Am I still in frame? I'm still here. Ah, yeah. Gotta check I'm still recording because I have not recorded with OBS in a long time. I haven't done one of these cam videos. But anyway, sorry. Nobody cares. Back to the video. My bad. Talents. Tier 15. Shadowy Insight removed because we have this instead. Shadow Word Void removed. I would have liked to see... you know what? Fine. We have Shadow Word Void in Voidform basically. Death and Madness is now available on this tier. It's the talent that, it's this one. When you kill something with Shadow Word Death, which is by the way bugged, it needs to die before you kill. It needs to like, there's a bug with this talent. Please fix. It makes your, it's good for leveling. Okay, that's there you go, leveling talent. And a new talent, Unfurling Darkness. After oh my god, this one. After casting Vampiric Touch on a target, your next Vampiric Touch is instant cast. Oh my god, it deals 155% spell power shadow damage instantly. I'm not really sure how much this is exactly. This is like probably gonna be like as much as a Mind Blast. I'm not sure how hard Mind Blast hits in terms of spell power. I mean, can I check? How much spell power do I have now? Intellect 1k. So it would hit 1.5k. So it would hit like a little harder than a Mind Blast. So this is good. But obviously all numbers are whatever. But as an idea, they kind of wanted to hit as hard as a Mind Blast, so that's good. This effect cannot occur more than once every 15 seconds, so this is amazing. This is what everyone's going to be picking for PvP. Instant VT, that's huge. New talent, Psychic Link. Mind Blast deals 60% of its damage to all targets affected by a Vampiric Touch within 40 yards. Huh. Psychic Link, Mind Blast deals 60% damage to all targets affected by a Vampiric Touch. Oh, wait, hold? Huh. This looks familiar. Psychic Link. Mind Blast deals 20% of its damage to all targets affected by a Vampiric Touch within 40 yards. Are Blizzard just taking dead PvP talents and putting them and buffing them by like 200% and putting them as normal talents with the same name? Yes, they are. It's good for nothing. I don't know. Maybe it's good, but I don't think so. Unless this damage procs the shadowy apparitions, then it's insane, but I don't know if it will. But this is tier 40, so for tier 40 we have spirits, and that's gonna go here. I don't think anyone's gonna spec spirits, I don't think so, unless they do big damage, and then 25% is gonna be big. But I think Shadow Crush is gonna stay a lot of people's favorite, my favorite for sure. It's really nice for PvP. You can stop drinks with it, you can get people in combat, and at the end of the day, it's just like random 20 sanity. I think it's good. Where was I? Sorry if I'm going a bit slow, okay? Lingering Insanity has been removed. Pog, because you don't go in Voidform, obviously. Dark Void has been removed. Huh? Dark Void actually is still in the game. It's right here. Basically, this is like saying Dark Void has been removed, but new talent, Searing Nightmare. Better version of Dark Void. Instantly deals shadow damage to all enemies around the target and affects them with Shadow Word Pain. If the enemy is already affected by Shadow Word Pain, Searing Nightmare deals double damage. Only usable while channeling Mind Seer. I think this is gonna be no cooldown, and it's huge for Mythic Plus. Everyone's gonna be happy. This is a big spell. This is big. If it has no cooldown. If it has a cooldown, I don't know. I guess it's fine. New talent. Are you guys ready? Are you ready? Damnation. Can you even see it? Can you see it? Must I zoom in? There it is. And we lost it. Where is it? Wait, hold, intermission. My bad. What have I done? Damn it, this video is long enough. I'm not dragging it out. Where is it? Damnation. All right. Instantly affects the target with Shadowlands Pain, Vampiric Touch, and Devouring Plague, free of cost, 45-second cooldown. All right, so let's count our 45-second cooldown spells. All right. Let's presume we're in arena and we're ready to kill someone. Keep in mind we're basically a dot class that does big dot damage. All right, I'm gonna kill this guy. Stun is 45-second cooldown. I can stun him. I can silence his healer. That's 45-second cooldown. And I can put this fat triple dot. I can Mindbender. And I can almost fear every go as well. So this is insane. I am so freaking happy we have this. I hope this doesn't go away. This looks good. I don't know. Maybe like, you know, dots are gonna end up doing no damage, but the way they make it sound, with Voidform going away, they say they want Shadow Priest to focus more on just dot damage. I think this is one of those talents that they have it with raids in mind, with like, oh, a big ad is coming and the priest doesn't have time to just dot it with a bunch of casts, so they press damnation and it's like big. They're like swapped to this priority target. But in PvP, this is freaking insane. It's so good. I love this. This is so good. So RPS can just kill people in openers as well, because you don't need to set up anything. You don't need sanity before this. You just press it, press Mindbender, press Power Infusion. It's insane. I love it. Void Torrent no longer pauses your sanity because there's no sanity drain, but now refreshes the duration of shadow damage over time effects on the target it's channeling. This one's kind of trash, let's be honest. This is like, if you want to get some more value out of your Devouring Plague, because VT and Shadowlands Pain you can just reapply. I don't think it's that good. I think it's pretty yikes. I unlocked the Relentless Talent. Huh? Wait, what? There's a Relentless Talent? Successfully applying loss of control effects to an enemy, interrupting an enemy, spelling them, increases secondary stats by... Wait, does everyone have that? That's insane. All right, more broken stuff. Great. We are like on a big tangent here. Dark Ascension has been removed. Legacy of the Void has been redesigned. Voidform no longer has a duration. Oh yeah, this is the problem. So they said Legacy of the Void is going to be their reply, the bone they throw to the people that did like Voidform. Voidform no longer has a duration. However, during Voidform, your insanity will drain increasingly fast until it reaches 0 and the Voidform ends. And for all their trouble, all they get is Voidform increases spell damage by an additional 5%. This is kind of yikes. No one's gonna pick this, especially when we have this. Ancient Madness. Entering Voidform increases your critical strike chance by 30% for 15 seconds, reducing its effect by 2% per second. And it's kind of obvious that crit haste are gonna be the move. This is like definitely the best. Surrender to Madness is now a 19-minute and a half cooldown. So basically, what does it even do? I don't even know. So you instantly gain 100 sanity and cast Void Eruption. Wait, Surrender to Madness might actually not be that useless anymore. Might be the move for PvP. Maybe not, because you die. But it's not as useless since Voidform is a cooldown. It's big to get, you know, your 1.5 minute cooldown twice basically. So this is pretty good. But yeah, Legacy of the Void is bad. This is not what people who liked Voidform would want at all. There's a bunch of like people not being happy with it, and I know these people kind of indirectly. And even I as a non-fan of Voidform could tell this is not a substitute for what they wanted, not even close. So I mean, this, like, you know, to put it lightly, a thing that they could do, but again, this is like they need to like add a new spec. But a small thing they could do is, I don't even know if it matters. They need to make this, get rid of this, increase spell damage by 5%. I don't even know at this point. It's like impossible. I don't know how they could do it. Except if Legacy of the Void literally transforms Void for me in what it was in Legion, I guess. Which, yeah, with the stacking haste, with everything, but then this, yeah, this is hard. This is a big yikes. The way it is now, it's I think it's trash, but I'm not exactly an expert. And then we have a new PvP talent, Lasting Plague. Increase duration of Devouring Plague by 6 seconds, which is not the best thing ever. You want more burst. You don't really care about, long things. But if you play a comp like Shadow Play with Affliction Warlock and you want to just rot everyone, this is kind of like the Affliction talent, Unending Affliction, where they have something very similar to this. And it's basically just a rot spec. If you want to put Devouring Plagues on a bunch of people, you have an option here. So this is gonna see some play for sure, but I mean, the way it is now with Devouring Plague being bursty, I don't see anyone honestly ever swapping out of Driven to Madness. Greater Fade. And probably, but you need Life Swap. I hate Life Swap. Get rid of it. I don't want to be forced to spec Life Swap. Blizzard. This is a good spell, and it's so OP that I have to play it. Just get the choice off my hands so I can play Driven to Madness. Because Driven to Madness looks bananas with the Devouring Plague, basically. You can like be so tanky. It's so good. But yeah, Void Shift is Void Shift. I kind of have to play it. Maybe we're not going to play Void Origins all the time, I guess. I don't know. Driven to Madness looks insane. That's it. That's what we're getting. It's a lot of changes. I can't wait to see how it actually plays. It seems very different. But Shadow looks really good for PvP with these changes. Devouring Plague is bursty. Damnation is pretty much your one-shot button. It's not going to do like... Damage doesn't really matter, but the way I see it, with the removal of Voidform, with the stacking haste and the stacking everything, they can way easier balance stuff, and Shadow is going to do damage outside of Voidform windows. Like even low stacks of Voidform windows. I mean, there's no more high stacks anymore. So I think it's gonna be easy to balance. And if they balance it around not high stacks of Voidform, it means they're pretty much balanced it for PvP as well. So that's my review. I'm very excited for this. I'm super happy. That's why I just like put together this little video here. I hope you guys enjoy the changes. I wish everyone had beta. I wish everyone could just test all this stuff out. But yeah, there's definitely some complaints with it. I know everyone's not happy, but this isn't a Voidform. This is not Voidform. Voidform, this is basically a cooldown. But personally, I'm happy with it, and I wish they change Mastery. I wish they I wish they change Legacy of the Void. I don't know if they can please the people that like Voidform, unless they literally Legacy of the Void has to be like a this big of a wall of text talent. Talent has to be like this much. Like change the whole spec. I don't think it's gonna happen. But you know what? Times change. We went from orbs to a good Voidform in Legion to a bad Voidform in my opinion in BFA, and now we're moving away from it. It is what it is. I'm happy with the changes and I like it. And I'm gonna respond to this guy because he like spammed me with all of text. I asked him. I think they're supposed to. At first, that was an option. I keep getting items to recover more RuneScape memory. The last time I could see the talent, I was unpickable. Wait, so I can get it? But I didn't see any upgrade. Well, anyway, I'm gonna try and look for Torghast. I'm not sure how to get the Torghast on the beta, but I heard you have to do this quest line here. So I'm just gonna do that. Thanks a lot for watching, guys. I hope you're just as excited as me. I hope you're just as excited as me. See, this is why I don't do one takes. But you get the idea. You get what I'm trying to say. The message is out there. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video or on the stream. And I can't wait for them to actually implement this on the beta so I can make a proper video trying it in PvP. All right, this is going on way too long. Bye!